This body camera video shows a Jacksonville postal carrier just moments after a gunman robbed him. He was delivering mail in the Grove Point neighborhood on the south side.
The thief demanded he hand over an arrow key. So this is what it looks like. It opens all kinds of mailboxes. Action News Jax investigative reporter Ben Becker discovered that these attacks are on the rise in Jacksonville, but there are ways to protect your security, your money, and your mail.
Usually the checks are stolen from mailboxes like these. They're washed and sold on the dark web. Police are calling it organized crime. Around Florida, dozens of mail carriers are being robbed and attacked for their arrow keys. In October, this surveillance photo shows a postal worker. As we zoom out, you can see the robber approach. That's when police say he robbed him. In September, federal criminal complaint photos show two men stealing mail. Investigators say the individual shown leaving is holding a trash bag of stolen mail. And in March, two robbers were caught on this surveillance video moments before police say they attacked a mail carrier for his arrow key. That key opens blue collection boxes, outdoor parcel lockers, cluster box units, and apartment panels, all places where hundreds of pieces of mail can be in one place.
They had backed their car up to the other cluster of boxes, so I couldn't see the plate.
In December, this Jacksonville man was walking his dog when he saw someone trying to break into his neighborhood's cluster of mailboxes.
When I was walking by, they were loading the crate into the trunk.
This is body camera video from law enforcement. We blurred it. That's because he didn't want to show his face for fear of retaliation.
I was on my way to work, and I pulled into the parking lot to take pictures of them.
Thieves are stealing the mail, stealing personal identifying information. They are washing checks.
Frank Albergo is the president of the Postal Police Union. He blames the spike in attacks on a change in policy in 2020. The Postal Police used to patrol alongside the carriers. Now they only guard the facilities.
And since then, mail theft has exploded.
Jim McGee owns his own construction company, and that means he writes a lot of checks. He mails them in a blue box outside his local post office. But federal prosecutors say thieves broke into it, stealing 25 of his checks, totaling $138,000.
For a small business, right, to have that much money disappear, that was a big deal to us.
The arrow key used to open the box was stolen in 2020 when the thief robbed a mail carrier. Action News Jax Investigates sorted through federal records and found from January 2019 through June of 2022, at least 3,000 attacks on mail carriers occurred nationwide, with at least 170 arrow keys stolen. 67 of those key thefts were just in the first half of 2022, blowing past the total taken in 2021. In Florida, there have been at least 105 physical assaults on mail carriers and at least 50 robberies.
The arrow key, you can open any mail in Jacksonville.
This includes an armed robbery last June in Jacksonville, where the culprit pointed a loaded handgun at the mail carrier's chest.
He was coming toward me as well, and then he was like, "Do you have an arrow key on you?" First, I act like I didn't know what he was talking about, and then he has a gun right here, like inside the hoodie.
Okay.
And then he kind of like flashed it out a little bit. He said, "Do you have an arrow key on you?" And then he took it out and charged it.
Okay.
And I said, yes. He said, give it to me now, give it to me now.
The post office is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to an arrest.
Nowadays, it's like they have a target on their back. I mean, it's just a very easy crime. The inspection service is doing very little to stop it.
We've had carriers hurt and threatened to be hurt.
Postal Inspector Rick Johnston says of all the crimes investigated by his agency, this is a top priority.
We deliver to 150 million addresses per day. My agency isn't nearly big enough if we want to investigate also and watch the mail carriers at the same time, so we have to prioritize.
Our investigation also found the number of stolen keys is grossly underreported. An audit report from 2020 criticized the Postal Service's arrow key management as, quote, ineffective, adding the number of arrow keys in circulation is unknown, and post offices did not adequately report lost, stolen, or broken keys or maintain key inventories.
It's gotten to the point where sooner or later everyone's going to be affected.
Now, 4 in 10 people say their personal information has been compromised in the past year. So what do you do as it relates to mail? First off, pick it up early. Secondly, take it to the post office. And third, never ever mail cash. We have much more information on actionnewsjax.com. For coverage you can count on, Ben Becker, Action News Jax.